This is Severna, a tiny socialist island nation nestled in the middle of the North Sea. Population, just over 300,000. Land area, smaller than a mid-sized European city. Global footprint, well, it's not exactly making headlines. Yet despite its size, Severna might just be one of the most fascinating places on Earth. In this video, we'll explore how Severna, a once forgotten rock in the ocean, turned into a self-sufficient socialist republic with a surprisingly intricate economy. Located roughly 200 miles east of the United Kingdom and 200 miles west of Denmark, Severna occupies a spot where the waters are rough, the weather is unpredictable, and the currents are notorious for causing shipwrecks. For most of its history, it was considered a cursed island, a place to avoid, and to be honest, it was mostly abandoned. But all of that changed with one big discovery. In the 1960s, British surveyors discovered Severna's treasure trove of natural resources: oil, coal, iron, and even uranium. Suddenly, this uninhabited island became a gold mine, or rather, an oil mine. Fast forward to today, and Severna is not just surviving, it's thriving thanks to its rich deposits of natural resources, all run by state-owned industries under its unique socialist system. So, how does a socialist island in the middle of the North Sea manage to sustain itself? The answer: meticulous central planning, resource management, and a touch of Severnan ingenuity. Severna's government controls every major aspect of life, from housing, food production, and healthcare to its energy grid, transportation, and even leisure activities. You might think a system like this would crumble under its own weight, but in Severna, it's somehow working. Let's take a look at their power grid. Severna, with its 14 oil and fuel-powered plants, once relied heavily on fossil fuels. But that all changed in the late 1960s, when geologists stumbled upon uranium deposits in the ancient volcanic rock beneath the island. Severna quickly built not one, not two, but 4 nuclear power plants, supplying enough clean energy to power not just Severna itself, but potentially export it to the UK and the Netherlands. Today, Severna's energy production is one of its greatest achievements. It's not just about keeping the lights on. This small socialist nation has taken it a step further, strategically managing its power grid to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and exporting the surplus energy to fund other key sectors of the economy. A nuclear-powered island in the middle of the North Sea. Yep, that's Severna. But what's even more impressive is how Severna moves people and goods. With no private cars allowed on the island, Severna's public transport system is like clockwork. Trains, buses, and cargo ships transport citizens and goods across the Republic, ensuring the entire island stays connected. And yes, Severna even builds its own vehicles, from electric trains to industrial machinery, all manufactured right here on the island by state-owned factories. Severna's industrial sector produces everything from food and clothing to electronics and construction materials. What makes this even more fascinating is that the Republic has to import almost all of its grain due to limited farmland, and yet they've managed to build an economy that not only meets the needs of its citizens, but even generates a surplus to export. Through its centrally planned economy, Severna imports only grain, mostly, while exporting oil, refined fuel, steel, and even advanced machinery. It's a delicate balance, but one that has allowed Severna to remain self-sufficient despite its geographic isolation. So, what's daily life like for the average Severnan? Well, every citizen is guaranteed free housing, healthcare, and education. The government provides everything, literally. Upon turning 21, every citizen is given a choice of housing units based on their citizen level, and any upgrades or exchanges are managed through an entirely state-controlled system. Need a bigger apartment? Just apply for an upgrade. Want to live by the coast? Just make a nomination. And the best part? Severna's rapid urbanization has preserved much of its green space, with tall residential towers allowing the island to remain lush and full of natural beauty. Citizens may not own cars, but they enjoy well-planned public parks, high-quality housing, and access to public services that many larger nations could only dream of. But how does a tiny socialist island manage all of this? Through an intricate system of councils. From the Central Guardian Council to the district councils, Severna's government maintains tight control over every aspect of life on the island. But it's not just top-down. Citizens have their say through local councils, and larger decisions are often made through referenda, giving Severna a uniquely participatory form of socialism. Severna may not be on the map for most of the world, but this tiny socialist republic has defied the odds, turning a once-abandoned volcanic island into a thriving, self-sustained society. With its energy-efficient economy, strong social services, and inventive solutions to modern challenges, Severna proves that even the smallest places can achieve big things.